Today we're in 4.4 and the objective is the same as yesterday. Find the exact value of the trig functions with the given coordinate. So this is what we're going to call day 2 or continued off of yesterday's lesson. So first example is you are given that tangent of theta is equal to a negative 2/3. Notice the negative is in neutral territory. And they're also telling you that cosine of theta is greater than 0. They want you to find cosine of theta, and they want you to find cosecant of theta. So to begin this problem, remember that tangent is y over x. So I have two possibilities. Or let me actually write it out in a different way. So I have x equals and a y equals. So x is definitely 3 and y is definitely 2. What we don't know is which one gets the negative. So one possibility is that x is negative 3. The other possible scenario is that x is the positive 3 and y is the negative 2. And again, remember there's two scenarios because that negative is in the neutral territory, so we don't know which one of those values gets the negative. So what we're going to do is draw our coordinate, and again we're going to label all surfers tan constantly. And we're going to plot these 2 points. So if I plot a negative 3, positive 2, I'm in the second quadrant, and if I plot a positive 3, negative 2, I'm in the fourth quadrant. So now we're going to use that second fact to figure out which coordinate we use. So notice again they tell you that cosine is greater than 0. So cosine is greater than 0 in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 4. So the overlapping of our dot and our shading is going to be in quadrant 4, which means the scenario that we're going to use is this one right here, which means this one gets tossed out the door. So I definitely know that x is positive 3, and I know y is negative 2. Now we need to figure out what our r is before we can proceed any further. So I'm going to use that x squared plus y squared equals r squared formula. So I have 3 squared plus a negative 2 squared equals an r squared. So 9 plus 4 equals r squared. So 13 equals r squared. We square root both sides, so r is square root of 13. That can't break down. So they want us to find cosine and cosecant. So cosine of theta is x over r. So my x value is 3 over my r value of root 13. After rationalizing, I get 3 root 13 over 13. And cosecant is r over y. So my r value is root 13. Over the y value of negative 2. And there's nothing I can do there. That's our final answer. So these are our 2 answers to the problem. So let's try another one like that. So the information that's given is that tangent of theta is equal to negative 1/3. And that cosine of theta is less than 0. And they want you to find sine of theta, and they want you to find secant of theta. So again, we're going to kind of lay out our 2 possibilities. So remember, tangent is y over x, so my x is 3. And the y is 1, and what changes them both is the negative. So here we're going to make the 3 negative. Second time we'll make the y negative. And now we're going to draw our xy axis, and we're going to plot these 2 points. So a negative 3, 1 would be somewhere here, and a positive 3, negative 1 would be in the fourth quadrant. Now we go ahead and label. So all students take calc, And we want to know where cosine is less than 0. So cosine is less than 0. So cosine is positive in 1 and 4. So that means it's negative in 2 and 3. So know where the overlapping happens with this coordinate at that time. So that one gets tossed out. Now we find our r value. So I have negative 3 squared plus 1 squared equals r squared. So 9 plus 1. So 10 equals r squared. Square root both sides, r is 10. And now we set up our two functions. So sine of theta, that should be the square root of 10. So sine of theta is y over r. So I have 1 over root 10. After rationalizing, we get root 10 over 10. And then secant is r over x. So root 10 over my x value of negative 3. So there is our two answers. So that's all for today. We're going to do some more practice on all of these concepts tomorrow.